Hello, everyone. This is Amar Wolf of furrytimes.net presenting another vlog, this time on Indy Fur Con 2023, which I went to recently and had a great time. Well, why did I go to Indy Fur Con? Because it was there. Really, that's what we all can say when we go to a different con. Well, anyway, when I knew there was a bit of a controversy before I even started. It had to do with a board shakeup, then suddenly dropping Cassie Civet as guest of honor. It was just insane. Well, and then I noticed after I got my badge, after I got my made my reservations for pre-reg and all that stuff, I noticed that they were slow in getting, getting information out there, like schedules and maps and all this, because couldn't figure out why. Well, that would have to wait till when I arrived at the hotel. Yes, I'm very well aware that the Wyndham Indianapolis West, where the main hotel is, doesn't have the world's greatest reviews. But at $149 a night, I decided it was the best bet to do because it was the cheapest hotel in the area at the con rate, which I had. So they came Thursday before the convention. I left. I went down there, got to the hotel on time, checked in, got my room. Turned the room was nice, really nice. 2 beds, soft mattresses, good bedding, 4 pillows on each bed, I may add, which is pretty nice. There's also an ironing board, and one I wish I used more was the little refrigerator that came in the room. That was nice touch. It really helped me out during the convention, and I would gladly stay there again. Despite some of the, well, they're also in the middle of remodeling. I mean, that's probably one thing people are going to take out of this. The hotel's in the middle of renovation. It seems they had gotten, they have read the bad reviews, and they were fixing the place up very slowly. The reason not all at once, because they had to raise the rate of the hotel if they do. And they didn't want to do that. So they had a small crew doing all the repair work. And the guy said they'll eventually, the maintenance man I spoke to told me they'll get to it eventually. I volunteer at the government. I know eventually. Well, let's see. Oh, yeah, registration. They're supposed to do early, like even MF does, early badge pickup for sponsors and super sponsors. And since I was a sponsor, actually a correction, super sponsor, I figured I'd go down and find out when registration opened up. Well, I got down there, and turned out they weren't open yet, but I got the correct time. It was after 6 o'clock, but since it was early enough and I was hungry enough, I went to the restaurant over there, which I'd be eating at a lot during the convention. There really isn't that many options around there. I mean, seriously, a couple of places, and that's about it. But the food's good. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The very few times I eat there was really good. After that, I wandered around the convention, kind of get an idea of the place. Unfortunately, certain doors were closed. I understand why, because they didn't want anybody getting there while they were setting everything up. But I wouldn't know the full layout till the next day. Well, speaking of the next day, that's when it, well, anyway. Not quite yet there. Not quite there. I'm jumping my own gun here. Later on, when registration did open up, I got my badge. Coolest lanyard ever. Has the name of the convention on it. That was nice. Also, I got a little thing that tells you when the convention the schedule and the map to the different rooms. That was a good touch. It really helped me out, and at least when I first started, and the con book. it was nice having my hands on a real con book. They hadn't had one at Midwest Fur Fest for a couple of years now, and I really miss them. They're really nice. They're really nice to, kind of look back and have happy memories with. I have quite a few, by the way. Okay. I wouldn't pick my con swag up until my sponsor swag, not up until the next day. Oh, this was for. It's part of a thing they did for a previous convention. It's supposed to be pirate, it's supposed to be a doubloon, but it's really just a fake coin. More on that later. Well, the next day, which I'm now getting into, I guess you could say is everything starts with the opening ceremonies. That's when I found out the real story, what happened. Turned out most of the board members had quit. They only left 2. Then 1 had died. Well, I'd say that's what I remember. Anyway, and they were trying to get everything struggled. I later learned they got the help from 2 conventions, how it makes a convention a success. And that was Furs Squared and Motor City Fur Con. Congratulations to them. And also, who was the unsung hero of Indy Fur Con? Alkali. I've heard this from a couple of staff members. He helped out tremendously. And I had a chance to meet him in the dealer's area one time around. I got a sticker. It's part of my whole thing. I bought a lot of stickers from the artists. There were some really nice ones. And I can't show you one because they're all my stuff. I was just so anxious to get it on everything. Anyway, Alkali is so damn nice. Oh, yeah, and there was like a bunch of stuff that I thought was really, really neat, like the thing they do after in every con. What is your first convention? Usually it's IFC. This was IFC labeled, and it was funny, and that kind of began the whole theme for the convention. I mean, it was fun. I mean, that was great, and then I got my con swag stuff. My sponsor swag stuff, and you wouldn't believe a lot of this. First of all, the T-shirt, spicy, 007. Then we also got, let me show you something, an extra coin. I didn't grab this one. Extra coin. Then, Post-it notes. These are my pride and joy. Post-it notes. Of course, the special con poster I got. This is neat. Haven't put it on my wall yet, but this will be up there. And I came in this. But also, the thing that was like a pain to me, the invitation to the sponsors' dinner, which was Saturday. Oh, in case you see this little code on the bottom. Well, that means this message will self-destruct in 10 seconds. That was part of a contest they were having down there. I didn't enter. I didn't even came with a solution after I got home. And believe it or not, I actually used Google. Oh yeah, they provided this. You know that thing with that old letter substitution code we all did with the kid? That's what this is. A little shortcut. It has the wheels with both alphabet. You can adjust the wheel. Wow, that was wild. And, well, the panels were, the thing about it is, oh, yeah, there was a bunch of stuff there that a lot of people missed that I really enjoyed. Like, for example, Iggy's exciting improvisation. Now, we all know, if you've been to a bunch of different conventions like I have, you know what Who's Lion is. You don't even have to, I can just say, what's the layout of Who's Lion? You know what the layout is. Well, Iggy is a good friend of Alkali. In fact, somebody's referred to him as his best friend. And I'm telling you, with mostly empty there, because they didn't know who Iggy was, Iggy's funny. This was one of the 4 versions of Who's Lion they did down there. They did regular Who's Lion. They did another one, which I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can look at the schedule yourself. It was great. All 4 of them were great. The charity one was actually better than the main one. Seriously. Then we got something that I didn't know what it was originally. Uh, there's a fur named Fur, Firr. If you happen to see him listed in any schedule for any convention, go to it. He has this thing called Fur Con, which is his 1 hour salute to fur conventions. It's funny as fuck. Oh God, that thing was so damn funny. I mean, I swear to you, I have never laughed so much in my entire life during a convention. Oh yeah, and then Fur had this thing where he did this panel called "Why Do Rabbits Make the Best / Worst Spies?" The charity, I wrote that down by the way, Exotic Animal Rescue and Pet Sanctuary, brought in a Flemish rabbit. Those are those big bunnies. You know, the one bigger than a small dog? Oh, yeah, I'm not kidding. Bigger than a small dog. And it was just sitting there, I think, twitching his nose during all this hilarity. I think the rabbit was the star of the panel. Even Fur couldn't outdo a bunny just sitting there, being quiet, twitching his nose. It was one of the animals they were showing off. Hopefully it was going hopefully to be adopted later. Oh God, that thing is so cute. Oh yeah, dealers. I know a lot of people make a big point about dealers in the artist area, even though the areas were rather small. How can I put this? Your classroom might have been a little bit bigger. They were small. They only had like 30 dealers or so, but what they probably had from the best selection I've ever seen at any convention. I swear I bought more. I bought more stuff there than I bought. Like, hey, my forte was stickers. I gave a few things to a friend, and they are enjoying it. Especially a particular key ring that shows off a cat's butt. She likes cats, so it was great. I bought a few things myself down there. Foxes in Love 3. I have an interest in werewolves. I want to show you the name up there in case you're interested. I've only skimmed through this book so far, and it's really good. I definitely got to go read this. And then the biggest surprise of them all, Blur Witch. It's kind of a take of a bunch of things. It's done by, I think it's, what is that? Oh yeah, Declan McCarthy, who wrote this. I met him down there. Turns out this was his salute to furry fanzine, because the guy is a huge, he loves this stuff, and he succeeded. If you see this thing again, buy it. You will absolutely enjoy yourself. Oh, the other funny thing was the con store, which I made a few purchases. If I say, what would I buy at the con store? First of all, it would be this, and gonna love this one. This. You know how much I paid for these things? $1 a piece. Then, on top of everything else, I got this. Hockey puck. Yes, it's part of a thing they did with they had a Canadian invasion a couple years ago. They were selling a couple old things off. But the biggest delight is a shopping bag they gave me for my purchases. Furries on Broadway was last year's theme, but hey, that's not bad. I'm keeping the bag. What else? Oh yeah, it was lots of comedy. The Alkali did more. God, I can't believe the number of panels he did. I think he was been pretty much over half of them. Seriously, over half. He just every time I walked down that corridor, I swear I heard his voice on something. In fact, it was him talking about this one incident I knew heard at MFF a couple years ago. It didn't happen there. It happened at one of the anime conventions. I didn't know the full story. I now know the full story, and oh boy. Don't play with frozen birds. Seriously. Not fun. I don't know if they got still banned or not. Anyway, getting back to it, the musical acts they had down there were fantastic. Seriously, they were fantastic. Um, Citrine, a fox-named coyote, status first. They guess who was also in a lot of the comedy bits. She is fantastic. Otter Chaos. I'm not usually into heavy music, but Otter Chaos rocked. The artistry was so nice. This is where the exotic animal rescue and pet sanctuary had set up their own little table over there. I bought a couple of things off of them, but also a nice little chat with them. And see, I lost my dog a couple years ago, and I kind of having trouble dealing with a lot of things that, maybe I should get a pet, maybe I shouldn't. Well, they helped me work. They helped me work that through, which is amazing. People there are so damn nice. God, really, so damn nice. I mean, I've never met even though I saw a lot of wild stuff down there. I mean, check out the March of the Inflatable video on YouTube. Oh boy, that one took me by surprise. I met a lot of really nice people, saw a lot of great fursuits, but I also found a couple other things. Big one was this. This is a blank one I picked up as, shall we say, a free souvenir. I didn't know what this, if you saw this yourself, you think, free souvenir. Well, these were created by, I didn't really found out during a one-picker panel, these were created by a group called Foxbox Studios. You can Google them, find them really easy. And that's how I got around and email them. And I found out, I got the whole, through the mini panel I did, it ran 7 minutes long. And my email, turned out they had a contest going around which contained between 24 and 26 combination of letters and punctuation to reveal a secret message. Although very clever, I advised them that, I personally advised them that people saw these and thought free souvenir. I mean, would you think it's a free souvenir? I think a lot of people did. I definitely saw a lot of C's down there. Anyway, I don't know what the message was. You're supposed to go on to a special Discord channel and find out. Yeah, I know it's really complicated, and I think it was an overcomplicated puzzle. Even though their heart was in the right place. See, I mentioned there was a contest in that one. But see, the dealer's area was good, the artist was good, people were really nice, saw some wild fursuits, had a great time. Of course, I mean, I got to comment on two last things before I go. One was the food trucks. A lot of concept food trucks, and believe me, by the time Sunday rolled around, I wanted something different than the food from the restaurant. Not that it's anything bad, it's just getting a little tired of it. So that morning, I walked 5 blocks, equivalent of 5 blocks, over to Waffle House. I've never been to Waffle House before. And I mention this because I had really good breakfast down there. Nice waffles, some sausage, some hash browns. It was good. It was really good. We'll be back. I've seen our Waffle House. I'll definitely hit another one. The other food truck, there were two food trucks there. They're hoping to do more next year, but the food truck they had there was a soul food place. I had a pulled pork sandwich. God, it was good. I mean, I'm not messing up. I do like good food, but boy, was it was good. See, also, what else you mentioned? Alcohol I mentioned actually once during one event called Indy Fur Con Heat Wave Con, because it was temperatures running around 100 degrees with heat index in 130, at least in the 110s. It was bad, but at least by Saturday evening it cooled off. Sunday was nice. That's why I got able to get out and just do some walking. Let's see what else. Closing. Oh yeah, I'm telling you something. Fur and Stratosphera did something that totally blew my mind. You know, we all know sometimes conventions do this thing where they talk about what you missed at the convention. Fur and Stratosphera did this hour-long bit where they basically did an interview for half an hour, and then they did this and fur one ran back and forth, and people who missed certain events down there. I mean, I usually laugh at fursuit games. I mean, even though the fursuit games they had down there was more like six furries and 60 fursuiters in a room with a lot of stuff and let them have at it. I prefer organized events like Midwest Fur Fest, but that's just my preference. Everybody had fun, and I had fun too, especially when they started to beat this uh, slowly deflating giant beach ball with a inflatable bowling pin. Yeah, it was that funny. Um, what else? Yeah, it was great. It was great. And oh yeah, but that was fun. And that thing they did was hilarious. Closing ceremonies was nice. We had 1,722 attendees, which is nice. I just want to point out to you, anybody who wants to go in the future, that there are 3 hotels in the general area. You can look up on Google Maps. That's how I kind of got the idea, lay of the land down there. Um, and I think they could actually expand more. Of course, I also got a comment on, let's see, one more thing. The charity got $20,800, which is fantastic. But the one thing I got a comment on, and it's something I really need to address, my videos on YouTube. You got to understand something. I just made these to inform you, inform the public about a convention, and it's something I said I'm going to do from now on when I do travel to different conventions, because I can get there and just start recording stuff. I just said I haven't been able to do very much at MFF because I have cheap equipment. I'm not made of money. I just have some very basic equipment, which I really enjoyed, and I think I took a really good quality work, even though some of it was maybe subpar quality. But I think because the number of views were just like WTF. All total, they've gotten over 7,000 views. Do I have any idea how this is going to affect IFC's attendance? I have no idea. I really don't. But I do think it's like I've been saying to a lot of people. If more people got out their videos faster, I mean, I posted mine. I mean, I don't edit mine. I just don't. I present things as they are. So I walk a little bit more. I got a hip problem. Anyway, it was. Oh, wait. I was gonna say goodbye, and I forgot something. This, an invisible ink pen. IFC brand. You write and it has a thing you just pull off and all that stuff, but also a little blue light that reveals the thing. It was part of the package. That was in the sponsor swag. I guess that's about it for now. I will be going to Midwest Fur Fest in a couple of months. Uh, what I'm going to do next year, I really haven't decided yet, but I got an idea for which convention I'm going to attend. But we'll see what happens. But it also depends on. I don't drive, and I want to make sure I can get back down and forth. Hotel says maybe, but we'll see what happens. But I think that's going to be a big surprise. Especially it's one member of staff who doesn't know if considering it, and I know them. Anyway, see you next time around.